I start our second session. So, in last session, I am discussing about specific gravity and water absorption test. So, I discuss all the technical aspects of specific gravity and water absorption identification. So, I define all these formulas. I define all these formulas. Specific gravity is equal to W3 by W3 minus W1 minus W2. Apparent specific gravity, which is equal to mass specific gravity, is equal to W4 by W4 minus W1 minus W2. Here we have only W1. So here we have only W1. W1 minus W2. And water absorption is equal to W3 minus W4 by W4 into 100. So how we determine specific gravity and water absorption? First, we take 2 kg of dry sample of coarse aggregate which is placed in a wire basket and immerse in water for 24 hours. The sample is wetted in water and then we calculate our buoyant weight. Then the aggregate are then taken out, surface dried build with absorbed cloth and then we wet it. The aggregate are then dry in an oven at a temperature 110 degrees Celsius for 24 hours and then the oven dry bed is determined. The specific gravity is calculated by dividing the dry bed of aggregate by weight of equal volume of water. So the water absorption is expressed as the percentage water absorbed in terms of open dry bed of the aggregate. The specific gravity value of our aggregate generally varies from 2.6 to 2.9. Generally, aggregates specimen having more than 0.6% water absorption are considered unsatisfactory unless found acceptable based on strength test. So for strength test, we also find our crushing strength test of aggregate. Next, however, slightly higher value of porosity may be acceptable for aggregates used in bituminous pavement construction if the aggregates are otherwise found suitable. So these are the points which we kept in our mind during the testing. So here the size of aggregate and whether it has been artificially heated should be indicated. The high specific gravity is considered as indication of high strength. It is not possible to judge the suitability of a simple aggregate without finding the mechanical properties such as aggregate crushing, impact and absorption value. Recommended value: the specific gravity of aggregate normally used in road construction ranges from about 2.5 to 3.0 with an average value of 2.68. So basically the specific gravity of aggregate normally uh, varies in the range of 2.5 to 3.0, but in between 2.5 and 3 we take an average value. So generally we adopt the value for our specific gravity of aggregate is 2.68. So the aggregate with specific gravity is around 2.68. Then the quality and also the strength of our aggregate is good if the specific gravity is in between 2.5 to 3.0, and water absorption should not be more than 0.6 per unit by weight. So this is the point which we kept in our mind during our test. So just observe here how we perform this test. So just wait. So here we use 4.75 mm sieve, remove any fine aggregate present in the water stuck coarse aggregate. Now here if you see, we take all the aggregates from this bucket, and then uh, uh, then fine or then remove all the dust particle from our aggregate. So where here we clean our aggregate from any dust present in it. So basically we first we clean our all aggregates with the help of our sieve and with the help of these buckets. So from these sieves, generally we put all the aggregates from the basket. These are all our clean aggregates. We sieve these clean aggregates and remove some absorbed water which will be present on our this sample. So just we clean all the dust which will be present on our aggregate. We poured these clean aggregates on a sample. Then coarse aggregate taken in enough quantity after sieving is then brought to their SST condition. So this is done using a dry towel as shown. So just we take a dry towel and put all the aggregates, then rub these aggregates with the cloth. The size of this cloth is 75 into 45 mm. So basically, two cloths will be taken for rubbing these aggregates and to dry these aggregates. So here, from all the sides, we just clean all the aggregates, or we just dried all the aggregates. So here we dry all our aggregates. So these are all our dry aggregates. Then we again try, or we try to uh, remove all the adsorbed water which will be present on these aggregates. So basically from these we try to do not allow any water droplets present on our this aggregate sample. So if aggregates are in SST, when the scene of water is not absorbed on the surface of aggregates. So here if we see, if no any waters is present in the aggregate, then SST aggregate are taken in a container. A bed cloth is placed over the container to prevent SST aggregate from over drying. So here we put a wet cloth, and then we just cover this sample where we pour our aggregate in the sample and to cover this. Then this procedure is continue until 5 kg of SST coarse aggregate is obtained for specific gravity and absorption test. So basically 5 kg of SST coarse aggregate is obtained for specific gravity and absorption test of our aggregate. Again we take aggregates, again we rub these aggregates with our cloths. So here we again rubbing our aggregates from all the sides with these uh, cotton cloths. So here you see we rub all the aggregates. Then this procedure is continue until 5 kg of our SSD coarse aggregate is taken for our specific gravity and water absorption test. So here you all kept in mind that for our specific gravity test and water absorption test, we generally take 5 kg of sample. Then here we see our aggregates is dried with this cloth, or no any water droplets or no any adsorbed water will present on this aggregate. Then we take these aggregates. So these are our dried aggregate, but Also some amount of water is seen on the surface of this aggregate. So again aggregate we rub the aggregate with the cloth at certain extent of time, in which all the water droplets or all the water will remain or will drain out from our this aggregate. So here we again take our sample, then we put this dried sample again in the container. So these are our aggregates. These are all our dried aggregates. Then we cover this dried aggregate with the cloth. Once there is enough SST aggregate, we need their wetting air under water and in oven dry condition. So here we wet the SST aggregate in air. Here we get the weight as 5.0009 kg. So before wetting the aggregate under the water, first make sure to clear the empty basket as shown here. So basically we wet our empty basket from this water container. Take out basket from water and fill the wetted aggregate into the basket. Be careful to not lose any aggregate to avoid error. So basically here we put all the aggregates completely in this basket. So attach the basket filled with aggregate to a wetting scale and note down the weight of safety aggregate under water. So attach here we attach the basket and immerse this basket in the water bucket or water tub. So here you see our basket is immersed in water tub. So make sure all aggregate particles are under the water surface before noting the weight here. Then taken out the aggregate from basket and spread them on metal span. After 24 hours of immersion in the water bath, take out all the aggregate from basket and spread all the aggregates on this tray. So here we pour all our aggregate on this tray. Then we spread all the aggregates on this tray and allow to dry this aggregate for 10 to 15 minutes. So again we try to drain this aggregate for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then keep this aggregate in an oven for about 24 hours. Then take out the aggregate from pan after 24 hours. Then measure the weight of aggregate. Here we get our calculation. Here we get our calculation, and here we get weight of oven dry sample in air A, in air which is A, is in 4.4971.7 gram. So basically we get a weight of oven dry sample in air as 4.971 kg. Here weight of SST sample in air, that is indicated as B in gram, is 5000.9 gram. Here weight of SST sample in water, which is indicated as C in gram, is 3089.8 gram. So basically this is 3 kg. Here bulk specific gravity GB is equal to A by B minus C. So basically A is weight of oven dry sample in air and B minus C is weight of SST sample in air minus weight of SST sample in water. So if we here if you observe, so here if we uh, subtract B with C, here if we subtract B with C, we get I think if 5 5000.9 gram is each. If we subtract 3089.8 gram with 5000.9 gram, then we get a certain value, and if that value is divided by 497.7 gram, then we get bulk specific gravity, which is indicated as GB is equal to 2.60 gram. Then this GB That means SST for bulk specific gravity is equal to B by B minus C. This GB is SST GB and this GB is our bulk specific gravity. So basically this is equal to B by B minus C, which will comes out to be 2.62 gram. Apparent specific gravity, which is GA, is equal to A by A minus C, and here the value of A is 4971.7 gram. Here also the value of C is 3089.8 gram. So if 3089.8 gram will get subtracted from 497.7 gram, we get certain value, and if 497.1.7 each got divided with uh, A minus C value, then we get apparent specific gravity or mass specific gravity, which is also indicated as GA, is equal to 2.64. So also from this approach we calculate our apparent specific gravity or we calculate our bulk specific gravity. Next is our water absorption. So basically we calculate water absorption in percentage, which is equal to 100 B minus A by A. Here the value of B is 5000.9. Here the value of B is 5000.9, and also here the value of A is 4971.7. So if we subtract, 4971.7 with 5000, then we get certain value, and if that value will got divided by 497.7, we get absorption at 0.59%. So basically the specific gravity value for aggregate generally varies in the range of 2.6 to 2.9. So rock or aggregate specimen having more than 0.6% water absorption are considered unsatisfactory, and and these are acceptable when we get another test or another test for the strength of our aggregate. So slightly higher value of porosity may be acceptable for aggregates used in bituminous pavement construction. If the aggregates are suitable, then we use for it for our road construction. Then calculate the specific gravity. From this calculation, uh, here then calculate the specific gravity and absorption value using the formula. You may use an Excel sheet for calculation as shown here. So this is all about this bit. So this is all about our test of specific gravity and water absorption. So what we do, we first take we first take uh, we first take 2 kg of dry sample of coarse aggregate and place that coarse aggregate in wire basket and immerse in water for 24 hours. Here IS, here for this testing, one thing you always kept in mind here, for this testing we use so here we give just wait, here the codal reference given is, here the codal reference given is, here the codal reference given is IS2386 part 3 1963. So just wait, here here IS 2386. Yes, 2386. 2386. Part 3. Part 3. 1963. Part 6. 1963. Method for method for method of methods of test for for aggregates for for concrete concrete and determination of also determination of specific gravity, which will be reframed in which will be reframed in December 2016. Reframed in December 2016. So what we do about 2 kg of aggregate sample is taken and washed to remove fineness and then placed in the wire basket. The wire basket is then immersed in water. So just wait. Here we write, but here we show you all the procedures. Just wait. So procedure. So first point is about 2 kg of aggregate sample each. About 2 kg of aggregate sample each taken and washed to remove fineness. And then placed in wire basket. Then placed in wire basket. Just wait. Here each taken in wire basket. Next, the wire basket is the wire next the wire the wire basket is the wire basket is the wire basket then then emerged in water, then emerged water in water, which is at a temperature of the temperature of water the temperature of water maintain each 22 degree Celsius to 32 degree Celsius. Next, immediately after immersion, the entrapped air is removed from the sample by lifting the basket 25 above the base of the tank and allowing it to drop 25 times at a rate of about 1 drop per second. Next, the basket with aggregate are kept completely immersed in water for a period of 24 plus minus zero point 0.5 hours. So it may be uh, mm, plus minus 5 hours variation. That means we kept the basket with aggregate completely immersed in water for a period of 24.5 hours, or it may be 23.5 hours. Then the basket and aggregates are wetted while suspended in water, which is at a temperature of 22 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. Next, the basket and aggregates are removed from water and dried with dry adjourned cloth. Next point is the surface dry aggregate are also wetted. Next, the aggregate is placed in a shallow tray and heated to about 110 degree in the oven for 24 hours. Later, it cool in an airtight container and wetted. So, uh, specific gravity determination of aggregate when aggregate finer than 6.3 is present. So basically, we find specific gravity of aggregate when its size is more than 6.3 by this method. If the specific gravity uh, find for aggregate which size is less than 6.3 so basically this is valid, this is valid, just wait, this is valid, this is so this is valid, this is this is this is valid, this procedure is valid, that means this is valid when aggregate size is more than when aggregate size is when aggregate size is more than 6.3 6.3 mm. Next, procedure for specific gravity determination of aggregate finer than 6.3 So this is the procedure when aggregate size is more than 6.3 So next is our procedure 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 when specific gravity determination of aggregate which is finer than 6.3 mm. So if when aggregate size when aggregate size when size is aggregate size is less than is less than 6.3 mm. 6.3 mm. When aggregate size is less than 6.3 mm. So a, a clean dry picnometer is taken and its empty bed is determined. So I already show you all how our picnometer looks like. So basically this is the shape of our picnometer here. This is the shape of our picnometer. So here a conical brass cap is also fitted in this picnometer. So basically we clean our picnometer. So before testing of specific gravity we first see our picnometer is clean or not. If it is not clean then we clean or we dry picnometer and its empty bed is determined. So basically this is the empty bed of our picnometer. This is the bed W1. Then about 1000 gram of clean sample is taken into picnometer and is bedded. So again what we take, then again 1 kg of aggregate 1 kg 1 kg of aggregate of 1 kg of aggregate of 1 kg of aggregate is taken aggregate is taken in this picnometer. So basically about 1000 gram of clean sample is taken into picnometer and is weighed. Next, water at 27 degrees Celsius is filled up in the picnometer with aggregate sample to just emerge sample. Next, first we just weight this picnometer empty bed. Next point is second point is we take 1 kg of aggregate in this empty picnometer. Third point is third point is we fill this picnometer with water. So here we fill this picnometer, 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 here we fill this picnometer with water. So this is our third point. Next, immediately after immersion, the entrapped air is removed from the sample by sacking picnometer. So fourth point is so basically after immersion of the water in this picnometer, we just try to fourth point is we just steering this picnometer. So start steering this picnometer. Next point is now the picnometer is completely filled up with the water till the uh, brass cap, that means at the top, and after confirming that there is no more entrapped air in it, it is wet. So basically what we do, we first clean and dry picnometer is taken for the testing and empty bed is determined of that picnometer. About 1000 gram of clean sample is taken into picnometer and is petted. Then water at 27 degrees Celsius is filled in this picnometer. Here we fill this water. So if you all this yellow mark is our water. So basically this yellow mark is our water. This yellow mark is our water which will be present in this picnometer. So these are our yellow marks which will be present in this picnometer. Then immediately after immersion the entrapped air is removed from the sample by sucking picnometer. So by sucking the picnometer we just remove our all the entrapped air, then placing a finger on the hole at the top of the cell picnometer. Now the picnometer is completely filled up with the water till the hole at the top, and after confirming that there is no more entrapped air in it, it is petted. Next, the content the content of the picnometer are discharged and it is cleaned. So basically what we take, we first take the W1 bit of our empty picnometer, we take the bit of picnometer after placing 1 kg of aggregate, then we steering this picnometer, then we fill water in this picnometer and start steering and this picnometer to remove all the airs present in this picnometer, then also build this picnometer, that bed is our W3, that bed is our basically W3. Then we clean this picnometer and remove all the things, that means water, aggregate, remove all the things from this picnometer, and uh, then we clean this picnometer. Then water is filled up at the top of picnometer without any interrupt air. It is then wetted. So lastly, what we do in last, we just discharge or we just throw all the ingredient which will be present in picnometer, then clean the picnometer, then only filled water in this picnometer. For mineral filter, a specific gravity bottle is used and the material is filled up to one third of the capacity of the bottle. The next, the rest of the process of determination of specific gravity is similar to the to which I described in the above process. That means the aggregate which is finer than 6.3 mm. So basically, the specific gravity of aggregate normally used in construction will ranging from about 2.5 to 3.0, but we take an average value of 2.68. Next, the specific gravity of aggregate is considered an indication of strength, which I already discussed during the our first session and also during the starting of this lecture. And also a material having high specific gravity is generally considered higher strength, and water absorption of aggregate is a measure of porosity. This value is considered as a measure of resistance to frost action and a measure of sustaining weathering action. So I think uh, the main objective of this test is fulfilled. So our main objective is to find the quality and to find the strength of our aggregate. So uh, uh, here we see all the aspects or how the tests are carried out for assessing the property of our course aggregate and their suitability for use in the construction of our pavement layer, because during the construction of our pavement layer the aggregates are generally used in the base course and also in the surface course. So of course these principles and these tests are generally adopted during the construction of our pavement layers. So mm, during road construction or during our pavement construction, we kept all these things and all these technical aspects for determination of specific gravity and water absorption test in our mind to perform or to build a good road or a sustainable or a durable national highway or state highway or any type of roads. So this is all about your specific gravity and water absorption test for your course aggregate. So I conclude or I end our lecture here. So thank you.